YouTube Power Hour Squad. Erika here with a brand new interview for you. So this week, I had the pleasure of speaking with Kallie of But First Coffee. This was a really interesting interview, and Kallie gave a lot of very different insights. First off, she shared a lot about her viral video that got over 30 million views, including how much she made from that video. So you're going to want to watch this whole interview. And she also talks about how she incorporates her blog into her YouTube channel and how she believes that having a blog is actually really important to success as a online influencer and as a YouTuber. So if you're new here, my name is Erika Vieira. I am a YouTube strategist and coach, having helped nearly 500 women behind the scenes grow their YouTube channels. And on this channel, I interview well-known female content creators where we together pull back the curtain to reveal what it's really like to be successful on YouTube. So if that sounds like your jam, hit the notification bell and the subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of the interviews I have coming your way. Enjoy the interview. Mwah. Well, hello, Kallie. Welcome to the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, excited to have you on and chat with you all about your YouTube channel. So why don't we get started with you sharing what inspired you to get onto YouTube, and when was that specifically?
So I uploaded my first video on YouTube at like the end of 2013. And I didn't start a YouTube channel to like start a YouTube channel. I just started to like upload. I had started a blog like just for fun. And I was mostly in the beauty niche. That's where I really started. And I was just doing it as like a second creative outlet. Like I liked the creative challenge of creating videos. So when I started my channel, it was really just to upload videos to like put on my blog. So that was like kind of the starting point for me.
Got it. And so then you looked at it as kind of like a secondary thing. I'm assuming at that time you weren't really taking it seriously. So then how did it evolve from just a little secondary thing in addition to your blog to now to you actually taking it seriously?
Yeah, it's really been like such a weird and like winding journey. And I think probably part of it just because like I didn't start it with the intent of having a channel. Like I didn't go into it with goals and, you know, with like intention and who is my audience and all of that. So it's really been like a huge like growth, and it's been a lot of kind of this going on. I feel like probably around 2015, I realized there was like some potential in it. I was uploading a little bit more frequently. I was uploading in exclusion to my blog. Like it wasn't always just for my blog. I was uploading videos for the sake of uploading videos. I had a few videos do, you know, fairly well for where I was at like my subscriber count at that time. And so I started to see some potential after probably 2 years or so. But then around 2017, like I had a huge transitional shift with my channel and like the content that I did. And so that was like a big turning point for me and my channel around that time.
What happened into 2017?
So in 2016, I was, like I said, I started in the beauty niche, and in 2016, I kind of was feeling a little burnt out, like I was stuck in that niche. I feel like I had like lost a little of that like the creative reasoning behind why I had started making videos. I felt a little burnt out, like maybe I was just chasing viral content or chasing views and not really creating videos like for the want of creating videos. And then actually that fall, I was picked by YouTube to do YouTube Next Up. And I don't know if they still do they still do that?
I don't know. I've had several people on this podcast that have done that program, but I don't know. I don't know if they still do it.
I don't think they. Yeah, I mean, definitely probably not this year, but so I got nominated. Well, I got picked to do that. Which, if you don't know what it is, it's like they send you to one of the YouTube spaces. It's like 15 creators. You have to be under 100K subscribers, and it's just like this week-long crash course. It's like 12 hours of like classes, like lighting, music, audio, production, just like all of that. And it was like the first time I'd ever been surrounded by other YouTubers. Like I didn't know anybody else who YouTubed, if that's a verb. And it was like at the perfect time of my channel because I was feeling really burnt out, and I was all of a sudden surrounded by these people who like created videos because they loved creating videos and had like so much energy and passion for like the process of creating video, which is like kind of why I started. And so I felt like I like left that feeling super invigorated. and feeling like it was totally fine if I wanted to make a shift in my channel. So that was like at the very end of 2016. And then 2017 was just like a really transformational year for my channel because I really started to branch out from the beauty niche and try other stuff. Personally, I went through something like super transformational during that year too. So it was just like this big turning point in my life. And I started trying new content and just like trying different stuff and really creating videos again for like the love of creating videos and creating videos that I would want to watch. And so that year was like lots of testing water, lots of like trying different types of videos, trying different things out. And then that was when I feel like I got a better foothold. Like I think I went from like, I was not at 100K when I went to YouTube space. So like the beginning of 2017, I was less than 100K. And at the beginning of 2019, or by the end of 2019, I had hit over 400,000. So it was really just, and I really feel like I found that, like that foothold, and I found that sort of like more success when I followed my passion a little bit more, if that makes sense. And I didn't feel like I was stuck creating what I thought I had to create.
What were the first videos that you did that was outside of makeup and beauty that, you know, after going through that program with YouTube and you just got reinvigorated, what did you try out doing?
So it's not that I had like never done a video that wasn't beauty at all. It's just like I allowed myself to really step out of it more and more. And I just started to think about creating videos that really, like stuff that I really cared about. So I started creating some videos about, you know, affordable living, about saving money. Over that same year, 2017, my husband and I actually paid off $70,000 worth of debts. So like I shared a little bit of that journey. I shared some, I started doing some like Dollar Tree stuff, which is like a huge part of what my channel is now, doing a lot more DIYs and crafting. Like I said, it was a big testing year. Like a lot of the stuff was all over the place because I was kind of finding my foothold. And just seeing like what I enjoyed making and what my audience enjoyed seeing. So it was a little bit all over the place.
Yeah. So then what would you then say your channel transitioned into? If it, you know, from beauty and kind of lifestyle, you said you changed and made content you're more interested in. So then how did you go about making that change?
Some of it was just that I realized that it was like okay that my channel was going to grow with me. You know, like I started the channel in 2013. I was a teacher. I was like living in a rental house. I wasn't married. And like now I'm 32. I'm married. I own a house. I have a child. I have another child on the way. And I realized like it's okay for me to allow my content to grow with me because like my audience is going to grow with me too. Like even if they were subscribed at 100K or 50K, like they're older now, they're probably married, they're probably having kids. So I kind of allowed it to just grow with me and kind of create in some ways the type of content that I think people like me need and want to see. So I share a lot of like life hacks for not like sensationalized life hacks, like actual helpful life hacks that you can really use in your day-to-day life. Honest motherhood, affordable living, like easy DIYs. So it's definitely, I'm not in like a very specific niche anymore. And I think that that was a big lesson I learned is that I didn't necessarily need to be like in this exact peg hole, which I always felt that I really had to be. And some people are, and it works for them. But it didn't work for me exactly.
Yeah. So you kind of had a little bit more freedom with what you just was interested in. And you said, I'll talk about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so then was there any, you know, turning point or tipping point for your channel that kind of helped it to just take off?
I've definitely had a couple of, I mean, I've had one video that went like mega viral, and then I've had probably a couple other videos that went over 1,000. So obviously you get like bumps when you have videos that go viral, which has always been helpful. For me, I always like aim for more of like a consistent growth. You know what I mean? Like just if in general I can get, you know, like that consistent growth over the months. And so I feel like sort of getting better about defining, not so much just sort of following my passion, and my audience sort of has like joined in on that. It's helped like my more like this kind of growth happen. Obviously viral videos, you get the quick spikes, which is cool. But I feel like we all want that good consistent growth.
Yeah, I feel like with YouTube success, it's a combination. It's just that, you know, creating content that your true fans love and they come to you and you become known for that. And then I don't think I've ever interviewed a single person. trying to think, or even, in working with people with my boot campers where they haven't reached that over 100,000 threshold or some other threshold without having some video going somewhat viral. So I think
Yeah.
it's kind of par for the course. Like, I don't think you can rely fully on viral video after viral video. That's hard to do. It's also unpredictable.
Right.
But I do think you can't really be, I think your point at, where are you at now? Over 400,000 or subscribers?
Yeah, 460, I think.
Yeah. So, 460,000 subscribers without getting a couple of viral videos in there. It's
Yeah.
just,
Oh, totally.
yeah. Yeah. But I definitely want to talk about one of the ones that, looking at your channel, it's like, whoa, that is crazy viral. We're not just talking like a few million views. I mean, 32 million views.
Yeah, it's getting there.
That is just crazy. So, share us a little bit about that video, how that came about, what happened when it first went viral, how it maybe changed your channel. Let's talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, so that video is a gift wrapping hacks video. It was at the very end of 2017. So like I said, it was like that big year where I was like really trying lots of different stuff. Not a video I would have ever like thought to create in 2016. And I think I posted it. It was either like the first week of December or like the last week of November, which is almost like kind of late when it comes to seasonal content on YouTube. And it almost immediately took off. I think it got 8 million in the first like Christmas season. So it went super viral right away. And then the second year, it always got pretty good views like throughout the year, but obviously it goes kind of crazy every Christmas, like November into December. So then it went really viral again in 2018 and then again last Christmas. So it's getting like about 10 million views every single season, if you will. And it was just like the one main hack that's like the thumbnail that I think probably makes everyone want to click on it. Like this video did really well because it's content that like tons of people, it's the reason it could go viral is because it's content that tons of people like want to consume. And the thumbnail, in my opinion, was very good. It was like one of those thumbnails that like you want to know, it's like one of those where like you want to know more from the thumbnail. And so, yeah, it just keeps coming back around and doing its thing.
Yeah. So how much have you made from that one viral video?
So I've made just over $65,000 from the one video.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
And you, every year, like you said, who knows how this year is going to be, but every year you've gotten about 10 million views on that video. So I guess cross your fingers for this year.
Yeah. We sort of like, I mean, it'll be nice, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But yeah, it's had more views every year, consistently every year. Like the first was like 8, and then it was like 10, and then it was like 12 million. So we'll see.
Yeah. And then how has your channel grown as a result? Did you see boosts in your channel subscribers or reach any new milestones because of that video?
Yeah, I mean, that video definitely has helped me get more subscribers for sure. It's definitely one of those viral videos, which I feel like a lot of viral videos can be in a sense that it's interesting and people click on it, but not necessarily everybody who's watching it is somebody like, oh, I want to watch this girl who's, I'm also a mom, like, all sorts of people are watching this video. But of course, yeah, I mean, I see a spike in subscribers every single time that video goes viral. Obviously, we're going to. As far as, there could have been other videos that could have gone viral that would have been like even more in my niche a little bit more and probably would have gotten me more subscribers. But I see growth every time that goes viral, and especially when I feel like when it went viral the first time, because in 2017, like I'd maybe just hit 100K. So it felt like the bump in subscribers felt so much bigger at that time than it did like the 2 subsequent years.
Yeah, because that initial 100,000 is such a huge milestone.
Yeah, yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And so, I watched a video. It's an enjoyable video to watch. So I think it's, the thumbnail, you equate it to the thumbnail. And also, I agree with you. It is something that I think a lot of people have an interest in and also a need for. But just
Right.
even the style that you created the video, it was so fast paced. You had some pretty good ideas and hacks in there. And it was really, I felt like the quality was there. Like it was just easy to watch. The filming was good, the angles were good. Did you, when you uploaded it or created it, it seems like there was a lot of thought put into it. Did you create it thinking like, oh, okay, this is something that could actually do well?
I mean, I feel like maybe not every single video I create. There's definitely like I call like my bread and butter content that's like more just for my audience. But I mean, a lot of the videos I create, there's like always that chance,
Yeah.
But I feel like there's I never know for sure. Like I didn't, because I feel like too at the time, like that was such a year of just like testing and trying new stuff. Like I wasn't surprised because I thought that it was a good video and I thought the thumbnail had come out well. But I also in some ways like was surprised. We're always like, I know what it is about that video. But I didn't have any idea like going into it, like this is going to go viral. You know what I mean? There's always that chance that like a video can just bomb and you never like really totally know exactly why. So it's always a little bit of that.
Yeah. So let's talk about your channel now and kind of where you're at and where you've progressed, because it definitely seems like you've evolved with your channel. So how have you gone about doing that? Like how do you select the types of videos to do that align with both your interests but also your audience that you're building?
Yeah. So one thing that I like to use when I sort of create my content, like calendar, and this is a little bit actually like a little trick that I learned from YouTube space, was that I tried to like break my content into a couple of different categories. So there's like what I said, there's my bread and butter content. So this is the content that I'm creating like for my audience. I know my audience is subscribed for me, to me for this. This is like what they expect. And then I usually have videos that are like the videos, like we sort of said, like they maybe could go viral. Like these are the videos that are maybe a little bit different. And they maybe have something about them that has that like viral component. And then I always like to do just like one wildcard video every month. That's, it still fits into my niche, but it's just something that's like maybe a little bit different. Because I tend to bucket my content, when I create my content calendar, I do 6 videos a month. So I do usually like one motherhood video. I do 2 or 3 like affordable DIY type videos, and then 2 or 3 like cleaning, organization, that type of videos. And then I always like to throw in, a wild card one, because those can be the ones that go viral. They can be the ones that can kind of give you new ideas for like different stuff that maybe you hadn't thought about doing. And so that's sort of how I work. Like I have my little calendar when I work through it, and I kind of just make sure I'm filling each of those buckets when I create like a content calendar.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So how far in advance are you planning your content?
Right now I'm planning I have at least the month ahead of me like planned. So like I know all of the videos that are going live in October and a couple that are going live in November. This is sort of a new thing to me. I used to be like literally I was creating videos like week by week, but I quit my job in January to do this full time. So like I have a little bit more time, and part of that was that I could be a little more organized, that I could plan ahead. And I feel like that's helped me a lot with my content too, because I'm a lot more prepared. I'm not creating stuff like on the cusp as much. And I feel like that's given me just like a lot more power with the videos that I'm making.
Yeah. And so what would you say then is your niche? Because it sounds like you said you're like, I don't have like a main niche, but it does definitely sound like you have almost like a network with like different little categories or shows in it.
Yeah, I sort of do. I feel like whenever I've been referred to like on the news, or if I've been like in an editorial or something, people always sort of refer to me as like a life hacks person. And like I said, I that is my niche in a little way, but it's not like sometimes I get like a little weird about the word hacks, because it's been like so sensationalized, and there's so many hacks out there that are like I'm never gonna do that with a clothespin. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like they are life hacks, but they're like life hacks for like the everyday woman, for moms, for just people like that you're actually going to use. But that's what I usually say. I say, it's stuff that's going to help you save time, save you money. There's some honest motherhood in there, because I've started to try to bring a lot more of like my real life into my channel, which was sort of out of my channel for a long time. And just like affordable living, and it's a little bit of everything, couple buckets.
Yeah, yeah. So what would you say are your buckets? Motherhood, affordable living?
Motherhood, affordable living, and life hacks.
Got it. So are there some videos that tend to do better with others? Like, is there one bucket that you find like, oh, I know for sure people just love these?
Yeah.
How does that go?
Yeah. So like my affordable living stuff, like especially if I'm going to do something that's Dollar Tree related, or something, if I do something, maybe it's like Walmart or Amazon, it's sort of like in that affordable living shopping category. Those are definitely bread and butter videos. Those are videos that like are almost always going to get to the view count that like I anticipate they're going to.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning and organization tend to go like one or the other. They usually will hit view counts, but those are ones that like occasionally can go viral. And then motherhood is like, it's either like it doesn't do very well at all, or it does very, very well.
That's interesting.
So, yeah.
So what is it? So I guess it's like, who would you say your audience is then? Are they moms, or who would you say is your true fan?
My true fan is definitely other young moms.
Mm-hmm.
I have some people who follow me who I actually have like a weird long segment of just like grandmas who like love to follow me.
Yeah.
And I have some younger women, but in general, like whenever I poll my audience, whenever I'm talking to my audience, it is more than half like moms. We're either working moms, stay-at-home moms. That's definitely my target audience.
Yeah.
Even though only, maybe 10% of my content is actually mom content.
Yeah, but like you said, they're all things that moms can definitely relate to. Like the Dollar Tree stuff, the budget hacks, the life hacks. I mean, that's total mom stuff. So then, how do you come up with your videos and kind of keep it fresh?
I would say probably 20 to 30% of it comes from my audience. So like either things they have asked me about, they have requested. I'm super conversational with them on Instagram stories, like via DMs. So I will get, at least one video a month is just something that's like requested and requested from people in DMs. And then usually, some videos, it's like I'm in the middle of a video and then like I get an idea for another one. I'm one of those people that like I have like a notepad on my phone and I'm just like constantly like throwing ideas down and then like seeing if one of them will ever stick. So it's a mix of just like ideas that come to me. I might see something and think like, oh, I could sort of shift this into a video. And then a lot of it is based on things that people are asking me.
Yeah. And then you mentioned that you have this wild card every month. So then what are some examples of some of those videos that you've done, and how do those usually do on your channel?
Yeah. So like the gift wrapping hacks is one that I would consider a wild card.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes, if you look at my channel, you might not be like, oh my God, that's so crazy. But to me, it like didn't fit into one of my other buckets. So I consider it like a wild card video. So it's usually something hacks related, but occasionally be something different. Not that long ago, I shared my productivity routine. And it was partially just because it was something that was requested a lot, but it wasn't like really one of those videos I would usually do. So it can be, the wild cards are wild cards. They literally could kind of go both ways. Sometimes they do super, super well. Sometimes they do average, or sometimes they flop.
Yeah, and I agree with you though. I think it is important to experiment and try out different things, because you just never know what might resonate with just YouTube in general, and you might have some kind of skill or knowledge that doesn't necessarily apply directly to your niche at hand, but it could be helpful in general.
Yeah. And it's not like I said, it's not like my wildcard videos. Like I'm not like all of a sudden going to do like a Canon unboxing. I mean, It's not like so crazy that doesn't like still fit into, who I am and what my audience expects from me.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just a wild card in this. I call it wild card because it's in the sense that like doesn't fit into one of my like 3 buckets, that I do for my other content. But I think that it could be good. It still makes sense for my channel, and I want to try it out.
Yeah, I think that's really great. So, okay, we're nearing the end of the interview, and I usually go through and do the hot seat round. So, These are questions that I ask everybody that comes onto the podcast. So first question is, what is your number one struggle when it comes to your YouTube channel?
Number one struggle is always time. Just never feeling like I feel like I have a better grasp on my time right now. I just recently got a better schedule, but it's always time. I can be a bit perfectionist with like editing for hours and hours and spending hours on a thumbnail. So time is always finding the time, and then finding the balance of saying like, okay, I need to like stop YouTubing and like, be a mom, be a wife, like turn it off.
Do you have any help when it comes to your YouTube?
No.
So you do all the editing, filming, everything yourself?
Yeah.
Got it. And then, so how many hours a week would you say that you spend working on your YouTube channel?
A lot of hours. I would say on average a video, I mean, there's obviously always the quick videos, right? Some videos just like don't take as long, but I would say on average a single video will take about 10 hours, and I post 6 videos a month. Some videos take 15 hours. Some videos I do in 6. But when you add in everything, the editing, the getting it up, once it's up, I got to do the closed captions. Like when you add in all of that stuff, it's a full-time job.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, without question. So you upload 6 times a month. So what is it, 1 to 2 times a week?
Yeah, so I do every Sunday and every other Thursday.
Okay, got it. Next question is, what is your favorite video that you've done on your channel?
Oh my God, that's such a hard question. I don't know that I have like one that I love necessarily. I tried to, like a big thing I tried to do is at least once a month, I challenge myself to try something new that like I haven't done before, like a different editing style, or I'll try something different with filming. So there'll be like little parts of videos that I'm proud of because I tried something new, but I don't think it's just like, I can't think of one necessarily. I mean, I guess I'm super proud of that viral video because it went viral.
Because it went viral, yeah. And it goes viral every single year. I mean, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Are there any videos that you were particularly excited about, but just kind of flopped?
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. I'd have to like look at my videos because at this point we're talking about 7 years of making videos. There's tons of videos, probably more than 10 that I can't even think of one off the top of my head. And I used to be bummed when I was like excited about a video and it would flop. But I'm not anymore because I always learn something through the process of doing it. And I always try to like go back and like think about like, what was it about it that flopped? So I know it's sort of cliche, but I'm one of those people like, there's no failures. There's only learning experiences. Yeah. And maybe that's how it really has to be with YouTube videos.
Oh, yeah, because with YouTube, it's so much about experimentation and failing until you make it. I mean, I believe that too. It's like there's no failures because if you hadn't had your failures, then you wouldn't have learned from them and maybe not made the decisions that you made later on.
Right.
Yep. So next question is, what is the biggest opportunity you got as a result of your YouTube channel?
So last Christmas, because of the viral video, I was on the Rachel Ray show, which is probably like the biggest thing that I've done.
How did that come about?
Cool. I had actually been chatting with the Rachel Ray crew for a while. They actually didn't find me on YouTube, which is funny enough. They found me on my blog, which is why whenever I talk to other YouTubers, I'm like, you should have a blog because it's your business card. And there's better like SEO value to that landing page. But so they found me on my blog. We've been talking for almost a year. They first reached out to me. My son was like 6 weeks old. And I was like, I cannot come on the Rachel Ray show right now. I just had a child. And we kind of talked on and off. They like come up with ideas. That's how these shows work. They come up with like some ideas that might happen. Then they find people to fill those. And then sometimes the idea doesn't happen. So there was like 2 or 3 instances where like the idea that they had me scheduled in for like just didn't end up getting scheduled into the show. And then I was talking to them probably like in November or whatever. And I was like, listen, I have this video that like keeps going viral. Like people love it. It's this really cool wrapping hack idea. And so, they pitched it. They ended up doing like a sort of DIY Christmassy, episode, and it worked really great. And that's how it worked out.
So what did you do? Did they fly you out there and you basically like showed your hacks during the show?
Yep. So I'm close enough that I could pop on the train. Otherwise, yes, they would have flew me out there. And yeah, it's not taped. It's taped in front of a live audience, but not taped live. She does like 3 episodes, like not a day, 3 episodes, like every Monday or Tuesday or whatever. And then they schedule them out. And so, yeah, it's sort of like, you're in there, you're in the green room, and you do the hair and the makeup and all of that stuff. And then the actual thing is very short. You walk out there. I showed the hack with Rachel, sort of taught Rachel how to do the hack. And then there was also, they had me send in a couple additional hacks. So they played like B-roll of a couple like Christmas hacks that I had shared originally. And then I did one live in studio.
Yeah. And how was that experience being there with Rachel Ray, being there? Like, how was it?
It was fun. I mean, it was a good time. I've done a lot of, I work with a lot of the local news stations here. So like the whole live TV thing wasn't like brand new to me or scary or anything, but it was definitely my first like live audience sort of deal. But I don't get super stage frighty. So like for me, it just like didn't feel like, I mean, I was very excited to be on the Rachel Ray show, but it wasn't like, I didn't feel like overly nervous or like build it up too much in my head, if that makes sense. And I also knew, I feel like a ton of people were like, you're going to get so many subscribers. And like, I knew that that's not how it was going to work. Like I wasn't going on the Rachel Ray show for necessarily exposure, because how often are you ever watching like daytime TV and then like actually look that person up?
Yeah.
It's more just about like the social weight that now it's like one of those things that I can say I was seen on Rachel Ray, was really to me like what I felt like was the big benefit of it.
Yeah, I agree. Because that was my next question. So what did you get as a result of that appearance? Because I can't imagine you blew up on YouTube, because it just doesn't work like that. It takes someone to actually literally go and find you. So did you get any new subscribers? Did you get any other opportunities by being on the Rachel Ray show, or what happened after that?
I can't say. I mean, maybe did I get a couple of subscribers? I don't know. I mean, I didn't like get enough of a bump that I would have noticed, but I was, like I said, that's not what I was expecting in any way. For me, it was, like I said, it was the social weight of being able to, like, now that I can say was seen on Rachel Ray. And then definitely once it was shared on Rachel Ray, it goes out to a wider audience of people. So at that point, like, that segment was shared on Yahoo Entertainment. It was shared on like The Sun, so like it kind of went out to more places. So it's just a little bit more like my name got out a little bit more. And I think I had a few people reach out that wanted to sort of do the same thing, like the same sort of like use the content, use that hack for other stuff. But it was really, for me, it was like more that I knew that there was going to be, for me, there was the SEO benefit, like that I'm getting that link, and then it was that I can say that I've done it.
Have you ever had any like gift wrapping sponsors or people that reached out to wanted to sponsor you related to gift wrapping at all?
Yeah, I actually have. I've had people reach out with different like custom wrapping paper and that kind of stuff. Yeah. But I mean, it's not like I'm creating gift wrapping videos every single month.
Exactly.
So I haven't followed up on any of them. But no, I definitely get them.
Have you done any since that one video? Gift wrapping related videos?
I've done one other gift wrapping video. I did like a dollar, because Dollar Tree, like I said, is like one of my buckets. So I did do a gift wrapping Dollar Tree video. It did like mediocre. It didn't do crazy good. I tend to find, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but and I don't watch tons of YouTube, but I tend to find whenever I see that somebody's had a video that goes viral and they try to do it again, I mean, you can't recreate it. Do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like you can do it and like you can get like a good bump. And I have sort of thought about like what I'm going to do this Christmas that will be gift wrapping related, because I will do something, but I feel like I'm not going to be able to recreate that same exact like power.
Virality, yeah, the 32 million views.
Right. Yeah. So, and because it's not exactly, I think if it was a super viral video that was like really more in my niche, then maybe I could have played off of it more. But because it was sort of one of those wild card videos, I couldn't quite as much.
And that is where it does get difficult, because exactly what you said. If you have a video go viral and it's totally related to your niche, like Dollar Tree or motherhood or whatever, whatever your buckets are, you could kind of build off on that and really just kind of, leverage that viral video. But when it is something that's not totally related, I feel like there's always good to come from it, right? I mean, you made some
Yeah,
money, you definitely got exposure. I mean, all these opportunities. But as far as building that YouTube community, it's not like you have a YouTube community of people that love gift wrapping. I'm sure there's channels like
right.
that out there, but you're like, that's not my channel.
Yes.
So,
No.
it's like it is interesting because I think viral videos have a different effect on people depending on the topic of the video and how it relates to their niche, and yeah, how
Yeah,
relatable it is
absolutely.
in general.
Yeah. Like another example is like I have a video, it's a nursery hacks video. So obviously fits in the motherhood
Yeah,
content. I don't even know if it's hit 500,000 views. Maybe it has. That video, in my opinion, like I get way more subscribers from that video overall. Like I have people who are like true fans on Instagram, like messaging me all the time. And they're like, I found you from that nursery hacks video. So like it didn't go, 30 million views, but it in some ways has a lot more power for me.
yeah, it built your community more.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, next question is, what is your superpower that you think has led to your success on YouTube?
Superpower. I think some of it is that I don't know if it's like, if like realness is the word, but I feel like whenever I get feedback from my audience, they always talk about how just like relatable and real I am. And it's something that I feel like it can be, in some ways, it feels like it should be really natural to do on YouTube, but it's actually not super natural to do when you're like in social media. And so I feel like has definitely helped me a lot. And the more that I've tried to harness that, because that's something that I've really, since I sort of made that shift, one
Mm-hmm.
of them was like, I really need to like be myself more. And I feel like that's definitely one of my, just like in general, not just even YouTube, just like overall in social media, is that I really strive to be just like super honest, super relatable. I think that that's mine.
Yeah, I mean, that's huge because it is difficult. And I know a lot of people have difficulty
Yeah.
with it. If you were to start over right
Yeah.
now, what would you do differently?
I don't know that I would do anything differently. I mean, my like journey has been, like I said, like so jagged, but like I've needed all of those like failures and successes to like get to where I am, and to like I'm at this point now where I feel like I'm just in this really good groove. I feel like I know the content that I'm making, the content that I want to make, and I don't think I would have gotten there doing it another way. So I don't know that like I would have done it differently, even though I made like tons of mistakes and tons of failures. I like needed them.
Yeah, yeah. Last question. What is the number one piece of advice you would give somebody who is either wanting to start a YouTube channel or they're on YouTube and they're wanting to really grow and take it seriously?
I would say definitely try not to, this is so hard, but like try not to get caught up in the numbers quite as much. I think that that was like one of my biggest issues, like sort of when I first started to see success, is then I got really caught up in that. And then like I said, trying to chase the views and trying to chase what I thought was going to be a viral video. And that like didn't bring me success, and it didn't bring me like happiness in creating YouTube videos. So some of it is, and again, like I feel like I'm just throwing out all the cliches, but like, the whole idea of like sort of you need to stay true to who you are. And there are people who are going to resonate with that. And that's how you're going to find the people who are going to be your true fan. You're going to find the people that really like love your content, that are going to come back every single month. Because a viral video is cool. You can have a video go super, super viral and make $65,000. But at the end of the day, like those people could just be watching and leaving. So
Mm-hmm.
I think as long as you're really focusing on, sort of staying true to what you really want to create, and like really having fun with it and letting yourself sort of shine through, that would be my best piece of advice, because it's very easy to get caught up in the numbers, and it's very easy to get caught up trying to recreate somebody else's success when you got to sort of be trying to find your own.
100%. I thought of one question because I wanted to ask this earlier and I just remembered again. You mentioned something that you recommend that YouTubers have a blog. Can you expand on that a little bit? Like, why do you feel it's important for them to have a blog, and what would they do with it, and what would they get out of having it?
Yeah. So for me, the reason a blog is really helpful, a couple of reasons. One, I've gotten a lot of opportunities from my blog because in general, YouTube has great SEO. I mean, YouTube is amazing in the sense that, like, you know, there's tons of keyword strings where like my YouTube videos show up in Google like at the top. So I'm not like discounting the SEO value of YouTube, but you can do more with the specific blog for people to find you. I've been on tons of like local news stations because of my blog, because it's optimized for like Connecticut, you know, blogger and YouTuber. And then obviously every single YouTube video can then have its own blog post, which is going to give it a second chance of ways that people can find it. Way better for Pinterest. So I have tons of pins that are associated with YouTube videos that have gone viral, but if you pin a YouTube video, it's not going to do that great on Pinterest. So definitely for the Pinterest value, if you're creating videos that are like Pinterest worthy, it's huge, huge, huge for that. So it is sort of in some ways like a business card. Like I said, it's like a place to send people, and it's like all of your stuff. And it's just like a secondary avenue of making sure that like you are marketing that video in all of the ways that you can.
And you started off as a blogger, then YouTuber, and it's interesting that you've actually kept your blog as well, because I've talked to a lot of people that start off as bloggers, then they get into YouTube, and then they see so much success from YouTube, and they're like, I'm done with the blog. Like, they don't keep up their blog.
Yeah. And it can be hard because there's been lots of times where I'm like, I don't know that I can do both of these. And I think for a while, because my blog and my YouTube, you know, I was trying so much different stuff on my YouTube channel that they've felt a little disconnected, but now they've sort of come back to a point where they're like really together. That I think that the mentality of blogging and YouTube are different. And so sometimes it's hard for us to like marry the two together. But if you remember that like a blog it can literally be a place where you're writing a post for each video and it's going, you know what I mean? You don't need to be writing it doesn't need to be tons of posts. You don't need to be out there like taking style photos. Like I'm not doing all of that. It's just like a landing place, and it can be really great for affiliate commission as well, because it's a really easy place for me to send YouTube audience, like check out this blog post where I wrote about this. There's tons of requests that I get from my YouTube audience that I'm like, this is not going to be a video, but it could do well. I could make money from it. And so I'll do it as a blog post instead. And then I'll share it with them like on my community tab or through Instagram. And still, for me, it's still like another really great way to make revenue. I do make money from it. I like to diversify my revenue streams. But I think it definitely is hard to think. I think sometimes you think of blogging, you're like, I need to be putting up 5 blog posts a week. I need to be taking style photos. And it doesn't have to be the traditional way you think of a blog.
Yeah, so essentially at this point, you're basically putting up a blog post anytime you do a video. So you do a video and then you do an associated blog post with that, basically.
Yes. Yep. And then I have other blog posts, you know, that I stick in there. Like I said, content that people want or people request that like doesn't make sense as a video. But I try not to pressure myself to do too much blog posts, because then it does get overwhelming and you feel like you have to choose one or the other.
Yeah. Do you have an idea? Maybe it's hard to even know what percentage of your income comes from your blog versus your YouTube.
It's hard, and obviously I make some other money like just like on Instagram. I would say if you're looking at just like ad revenue, it's probably 80 to 90% YouTube. But if you look at all revenue, you look at sponsorships, you look at affiliate commissions, like all of that stuff, it's probably 60% YouTube, 40% blog.
Yeah, so when you do a brand deal, you kind of throw in the blog post along with it, with all the links and all that stuff in the blog post, I'm assuming.
Yep. And because I've been blogging long enough, I mean, my blog is standalone, so there are some brands that like, this is not going to work as a YouTube video, but like I would love to work together on the blog. So, you know, I do sponsor content a lot that literally has nothing to do with YouTube. That's just Instagram and blog.
Wow. How much traffic a month do you get on your blog alone, just on your blog?
Like 50,000.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty good. But I'm sure you get way more on your YouTube.
Way more on my YouTube. Yeah. Way more on my YouTube.
Yeah.
But it's just, again, like I said,
it's another
for me,
platform.
It's another revenue. It's another revenue stream. And, you know, it's nice to have it, because all of them can be so finicky. You know, you can have a really bad blog month, or you can have a really bad YouTube month. And I can have a month where I make more blogging than I do YouTube. So I like to keep the revenue streams diverse.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for sharing so much insight into your channel and your growth and your viral video. I know people are going to really enjoy listening to this episode. If anyone's listening to this and they're not familiar with your channel or your blog, where can they check you out?
So my website is butfirstcoffeeblog.com, which will bring you to everything. You can find YouTube links there. You can find Instagram links there. If you want to find me on YouTube, it's the same thing, But First Coffee.
Awesome. Well, that's easy. And we'll have all the links in the description below. And if you guys are watching this on YouTube, comment below. Let us know what you found helpful, anything that was surprising or interesting. And yeah, thank you so much, Kallie, for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Bye.